Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Venus square or opposition Pluto in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects of the natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have Venus square or opposite Pluto in a natal chart, there may be difficulty in terms of loving and enjoying, which is Venus, what you have that passion and desire for. Now, I know it sounds a little odd, but how could you not love and enjoy, what you have that, strong passion and desire for? Well, it may be just, where you're often not feeling up to doing those things that you truly do have the passion and desire for, which is Pluto. And now let's say, Pluto is in Virgo in the fifth house. Those things you have, passion, desire for may be connected with analytical, intellectual, fun, amusement, hobbies, enjoyment. Could be extrapolating sports data, analyzing things that are connected, with sports. If you have, say your Pluto in Capricorn in the seventh house is another example. It could simply be like, business related. Could be competition where you're very competitive, with other businesses if you are involved in one yourself. It could be, another way these aspects may be expressed is that it may be hard to find, that passion, which is Pluto, in making money, generating income, which is Venus. Now, let's say if you have your Venus in Libra, as an example, making money, maybe done, doing something with arbitration or negotiation. It could be art, music, even scale production. Hey, scales are connected, with the zodiac sign Libra. It could be doing something in a legal field, such as working as an attorney, a paralegal, a bailiff, a judge, as some examples. And another thing too about these aspects, they may also manifest in having trouble in terms of valuing, which is Venus, making some major change or transformation, which is Pluto. And naturally, if you have difficulties in valuing something, then there may be less enjoyment in it, and it may be harder to do. If you have Pluto in the first house, as an example, it may be connected with the transformation of the physical body or one's outlook, on life, one's appearance. Pluto in the seventh house could be some major change or transformation connected with, one's relationships, which would include important friends. The transformation may be with the assistance of a significant other or a marriage partner. Pluto in the 12th house could be a transformation of a spiritual nature. Now, also, too, is Venus square opposite Pluto in a natal chart may also be expressed in, well, let's say if something has in your life has been obliterated basically or destroyed, which is Pluto, it may have more of an adverse effect on your self-worth, your self-esteem, and how you feel about yourself, which is Venus, more so than most others. And I know, you could have, something like that can have a negative effect on one's self-worth regardless of aspects, but it may be more accentuated with an aspect like this compared to many others. And the thing is, let's say, Pluto in the seventh house could be a relationship that may have been, obliterated at some point. Pluto in the 10th, maybe something more of a career-related matter. It may be something connected with one's social status or stature in life, as some examples. And also, too, there may be difficulty in terms of being passionate, which is Pluto, in one's artistic endeavors, which is Venus. And let's say, going to, Venus in Pisces as an example, artistic endeavors may be tied in with abstract art, fictional, fantasy art, maybe art connected with the sea, boating, fishing. Venus and Aquarius can be art that's futuristic, innovative, ingenious. It may be science fiction, type of art, as some examples. And also, too, these aspects may be expressed in having issues in terms of getting loans, which is Pluto, for Venus related matters. And Venus related matters, it can include a wide divergence of things. It could be art, artistic related matters, like an art business as an example, or, doing something for, it could be connected with a legal matter, as another example. It may be things that are going to help your self-worth or the development of talents and abilities. If Venus is in Gemini, as an example, talents and abilities may be tied in, with eloquence, or, it may be with communication somehow, or being able to multitask, things that involve versatility, or it may simply be something connected with manual dexterity, such as auto or refrigeration mechanics, as some examples. Also, too, there may be difficulty in getting that money, which is Venus. It could be from an inheritance, insurance-related matters, wills and estates, which is Pluto. Now, if Venus is in Scorpio, as an example, the money maybe something which we're very, more mysterious, secretive about. Um, Venus and Pisces may be more idealistic, sometimes unrealistic in terms of the money, that would be anticipated, in terms of getting, as an example. And now another thing too is that the relationships, which is Venus, with intimate connections, which is Pluto, may not always, be good. There may be difficulties in finding the peace and tranquility in those intimate connections, which is Pluto. And the thing is, let's say, Venus is in Taurus, as an example. Those, well, I should say, let's say if Pluto, you know, is in, let's say Pluto's in Sagittarius, those intimate connections, one or more may actually be with a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or or people that simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be those that are jocular, jovial, optimistic, philosophical. It could be those that are religious, people that are very exuberant and enthusiastic, but yet may be foolhardy and self-righteous as well, and reckless. Now, another thing too is that there may also be difficulty in, meeting that desire, which is Pluto, to have, the peace and tranquility, which is Venus. And the thing is, if you have Venus in Pisces, that desire for peace and tranquility may be tied in with isolation, solitude, seclusion. Venus in Capricorn may be simply finding the peace in one's business or career, or could be doing something Capricorn related, whether it could be architecture or doing something, with information technology, as some examples. And also to the talents and abilities, which is Venus, may not be, beneficial in one's legacy. I'm not saying that they have a negative effect necessarily on it, but what it could be is that whatever the legacy may be, it may not be, tied in with one's, talents and abilities. Now, the thing about this is, let's say, Venus is in Taurus, as an example. Talents and abilities can be connected with art or music, or, doing something, with carpet laying, or, architecture, as some examples that may be tied in with buying and selling. And also, too, there may be issues as far as finding the enjoyment, which is Venus. in Pluto-related activities. And, that could cover a number of things. Pluto-related activities can be connected with deep research, forensics, investigation, maybe something with the occult, which includes astrology. Maybe it's even going to, like horror houses, like around Halloween time, as some examples. And another thing, too, there may also be trouble as far as getting support, which is Pluto, for legal matters, which is Venus. Now, there may be, let's say Venus is in Gemini, legal matters may be connected with something with forgery, that, somebody may have forged your checks as an example, or plagiarism. Somebody may have plagiarized your work, or it may simply be theft as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.